So I can get caught up in the hype with the best of them. We all love a new product, a new ingredient, a new hack coming down the pike that promises, buy this and it's going to reverse aging and reverse our wrinkles and so on. That's not what we're doing here, though, on the Cher effect. In fact, it's sort of the anti of that. I have bought way too many products in the past. I have fallen prey to different trends in anti-aging and protocols. And what I'm sharing here is what still stays with me. I pay for all my products. Very rare. I will always tell you if someone has sent me a product or device. Otherwise, these are my dollars. This is my time. And after wasting a lot of dollars on a lot of things that maybe were fun, particularly with skincare, I really have honed in the routines that are so important to me because I do want to put my dollars elsewhere, like investment accounts and such. I don't want to put all my dollars in umpteen million supplements, skincare ingredients I don't need, and just getting caught up in the hype. So I have 5 or 6 really odd, unsexy, not TikTokable products or hacks that I keep in my routine daily and are gonna stay there. They're here to stay unless I am informed. Otherwise, these have been real game changers. Most of them aren't even expensive. In fact, I can't even think of one there's one that costs a little bit more and I would buy it over and over again. So if that sounds good, you want to hang out, talk about some of the habits and routines and these weird, unsexy hacks that I'm keeping in my routine here moving forward, go ahead, grab something to drink, grab a snack, put me on in the background, if you will, and let's take a look at these. So I'm constantly and consistently looking to see what I can cut out of my supplement routine. Food is expensive. I try to pick really good foods in my diet. I don't want to waste a lot of money on supplements. There are some that stay in the routine. One of them is this, and it's a hyaluronic acid that I take internally. I always use Do Not Age. I've been with them for 4 or 5 years as a customer. I do have a code over there. You can use Cher10 if you happen to be a Do Not Age customer and you want a discount. I use my own discount. I hope that's okay. Do Not Age. Every time I order, I use my own discount. I trust them. They are a research company as much as a supplement company, and I just trust their ethics and their ethos, what they stand for. The pure hyaluronic formula, I love, love, love taking this. Now, obviously, we're going to have like some skin, some maybe even bone cartilage, effects and benefits. But there's a lot that hyaluronic acid does. It has an anti-aging component in and of itself, and I think that's beyond like plumping skin. But also it has been shown, no, I'm not making any claim here, but it has been shown to be cancer protective. And here's the one reason why this is going to stay in my routine, and I just discovered it recently. I ran out, and like I said, I'm always trying to cut a supplement out of my routine. Like, okay, well, maybe I don't need to spend money on that. Well, I went about a month or two, probably 2, without this. In fact, it's in the mail to me right now. This one's empty. And I realized hyaluronic acid really helps me maintain my weight. Now, I don't think it's going to make you lose weight, but there's something about this, probably has to do with the methylation process, generally speaking, or inflammation in some way. Now, here's another fun way that I like to get my hyaluronic acid once in a while. I will just order this over on iHerb, and this is the Neocell hyaluronic acid, and this is a vitamin C base. So it's in a base, a natural food base of some really concentrated juices like cranberry, cherry. It's gorgeous, tastes amazing. It's like a little morning shot, so easy to take. Now, This only has 50 milligrams of hyaluronic acid in it, so it's not a big punch, but it's a lovely, friendly, tasty way to get this in, and it has that addition of a nice little vitamin C profile. I like getting vitamin C from like a natural source, and we're getting the polyphenol, benefit, antioxidant benefit. So what a great little shot in the morning. I learned this one about 4 or 5 years ago now, and I would not miss a day. And I use this actually a couple times a day of my Xylitol nasal spray. Now, why do we want to use Xylitol in the nasal passages? Well, it's this natural sugar, by the way, made from birch trees, so there's nothing weird about it. And the only ingredient I think in here is xylitol and a tiny bit of grapefruit extract, grapefruit oil, something. I think that's for preservative, perhaps. But it's very easy, very gentle, very mild on the nasal passage. We want to keep this sort of microbiome in the nasal passage moistened, and xylitol has an effect that can help actually be antiviral, antibacterial. So if you've been out and about and you've sort of been exposed, as it were, it's a good idea to keep this, although I use it every day. Also can help with allergies, just keeping things moistened. It's just a really good idea. I do use xylitol all in my routine. Xylitol rinse, xylitol mints, but my nasal spray has been a really important feature of, knock on wood, staying healthy, not getting those viruses and colds that are coming around. I just wouldn't do without this at all. I came across some research about eye health. Now, I think that's something that we're all just so keen on. I mean, our vision is it's such a blessing, right? So thinking about the eyeballs being so fragile, so exposed to environment, UV damage, just like our skin, I came across this research about using an L-carnitine drop directly to the eye. So what this is basically an antioxidant that's being applied directly to the eye. I know there are supplements that people take for eye health, but the research on this looked really good. By the way, people get this in spades for their pets. If we're giving it to our pets, why aren't we doing it ourselves? So sort of like, an alternative to cataract surgery. I just want my eyes to be healthy, and we've got this free radical damage, just like our skin, happening to our eyeballs every day. Well, this is to help with that reactive oxygen species that's happening in the skin, in our cells. And the direct application going directly into the eye just makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, I'm hedging my bets. I don't have time to wait around for a 20-year placebo-blind controlled study, but the research does look good. It's a bit expensive, but I do keep these in the routine. I'm just about out of it. I will go ahead and reorder it. I will spend that money. Talk about wasting money. There were plenty of devices that I have gone through, tried, tested, spent my money on, and are not in my routine anymore. This is one of my top performers, one of the few devices that I still use. I owe you a whole other video on devices, the ones that haven't worked and the ones that are still in my routines. Oralift is a tried and true. I've been using Oralift for 4 to 5 years now. This is a little mouth device that I am absolutely a believer in. Actually helps with facial posture, with increasing circulation, therefore even skin benefits like loosening, kind of loosening up constricted tissue. Some people even get posture benefits from Oralift. This is invented by Dr. Mahindra, a long-time dentist. He came up with the idea that by positioning our mouth in a certain way, which is what this little device does, you don't wear it all the time, I'll talk about that in a second, It is actually like a yoga posturing for our face. What happens in the aging process is there's this sort of turning in and shrinking of our, bone mass and even facial muscles. Everything's kind of sinking and sagging in, and also we're losing bone and muscle mass over time. Well, the Oralift actually seeks to reverse those processes by getting a proper circulation into the whole cranial area. So by wearing this little bite device, which you actually don't bite on, you actually keep your mouth open, it puts our face into the right posture. I wear this now that I'm on the on cycle, the 2-month on cycle. I'll wear this for 30 to 60 minutes in the morning, 30 to 60 minutes in the evening, every third day for 2 months. And then I put it away for 4 months. So this is very cyclical. It is not something I have to wear all the time. You don't wear it during the day. It's not a sleep guard. You could certainly skip a morning or an evening, but every third day. And I believe that it really helps keep that jawline definition. It brings circulation in. It's helping that sinking and sagging process from not happening, and perhaps even helping the deterioration of bone mass over time. I'm all for it. It will stay in my routine. The great thing is you can go pop over, get one of these. By the way, I do have a code if you want to use it over there. And if you go on the site, you'll see me on there. By the way, I think that those before and after pictures are not always that great. I have a whole rant I could do about before and after pictures. Here's the TLDR on that one, okay? We look at these before and after pictures like, well, I think I can see, well, I'm not sure, maybe on the right, maybe on the left. Okay, this is what I prefer to do in my own research at looking at someone and deciding whether, I wonder, if that might be working for them. First of all, look up Dr. Mohindra. Amazing bone structure, beautiful skin, and he's been using his device, I guess, for over 20 years. So what I like to do, rather than really diving into before and after pictures, is I like to just look at the person. And hopefully they're on here without beauty filters, without filming filters, okay? Because that's just not even being honest when you're using those. And I look at their skin and look at their structure and look at, what they're talking about, and see, does it seem to sort of demonstrate in their life? Can I see some evidence of that? And I really feel that for me, and looking at myself as an experiment, the Oralift has really been one of those hacks I'm keeping in the routine. And the last one is right here. It's a pestle and mortar. This is really more symbolic of the hack than it is the hack itself. But what this represents to me is I don't let others or other things do for me what I can do for myself. So I discovered this. I love a beautiful, like, pink Himalayan salt. I make 99% of what I eat. I make myself out of whole foods, minimally processed foods at home. So I freely sprinkle Himalayan sea salt to season. I don't think it's salt, in my personal opinion, in my personal non-physician opinion. It's not salt itself that we need to avoid unless you have some particular medical issue, but it's processed food, okay? So if I'm cooking my own food, I feel fine about putting a beautiful pink Himalayan sea salt on there for a mineral, supplementation and for all the benefits that a beautiful salt has. I can buy the pink rock salt, little pebbles, and I can freshly grind it for recipes, just, for my everyday use. And that just reminds me of all the things that I do and don't give up. I'm not going to use an escalator. I'm going to take the stairs. I'm going to park further away. I drive a manual stick shift car I always have. And a lot of people's opinion would be, oh, those are just tiny things. It's like, but life is built of tiny things. Like life is built each little day, brick by brick at a time. So our little micro habits add up to lifestyle. So there are plenty of things I enjoy, like my washer and dryer. But if there are things that I can do myself, like grinding my own salt, opening my own can instead of having a can opener, taking the stairs, walking further, using, my manual transmission, then I'm always going to choose that rather than lose that ability to do that, lose that grip strength. I don't want to lose any of that in the service of things being easier. I hold on to those analog routines as a way to keep my, hands working and myself working and walking further. And all those little micro habits add up to a lifestyle. And in my mind, that's where the big changes take place. In skincare, we can think about SPF use and tretinoin or retinol. Over time, it may not seem like much day to day, but over time makes huge, huge strides, huge difference. I wish I could go back and have started SPF earlier, and I wouldn't have some of this sun damage that I'm now so working to address and to make better. And my last one is my LED light panel here behind me. Now, I know that's not odd. It's actually quite popular now. Although when I started doing red light therapy back in about 2011, 2012, something like that, I used to go in clinic because we didn't even have these kind of devices available at home. As soon as they were available at home, I started with my very first LED device. Here's the more unusual part about how I'm using my LED panel now. I've been doing it right before sleep. So after I've got all my nighttime routine done and I'm ready just to be done for the day, I'll do a 20-minute treatment. And this is the MITO Red Pure 300 Pro, something like that. This has always served every need I have. Basically speaking, red light therapy is going in and helping skin rejuvenate at a cellular level. Now, this panel also has near infrared light. That's the light that we don't see. It's invisible. That light actually penetrates deeper into muscle and bone. So we're getting more anti-inflammatory effects. If there's an injury, if there's inflammation, it's amazing, amazing. Also doing that, charging of the mitochondria on a deeper level. So with those two modes, the red light, infrared light, I always use both modes. I'm getting this beautiful night treatment. And for me, it helps my sleep. My sleep is much, much better using the red light therapy at night. I think you can use it anytime during the day and you're going to get a benefit, but I love it for a little sleep hack. I know a lot of people will get the full body panels and those are great, all the power to you. But this little panel, I can shine on any area of my body. I just lay it on the mattress. It does fine. I don't need a stand. I don't need anything fancy. Of course, it's great for face. I love it, love it, love it. I also use masks and other things too. It's such a huge part of my routine and has been for years. I do have a code over at MITO Red Panel. Cher 5 will get you a discount if you'd like. This panel, I've been using it for probably 5 years now. Works every day of its life for me. Never a stutter, never an issue. It is solid. The engineering in this is gorgeous. Okay, those are my weird hacks. Let me know if you guys have any. Just say hi to me if you want to down in the comments. I'm excited to see you in the next one. I'll see you soon, you guys. Bye.